Hey guys, and welcome back to the final episode of Indy Gear. Been filming these for quite a while, and pretty much gone over everything that needs to be gone over, with the exception of belts and straps. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. First thing we're going to cover is the regular belt that he wears to keep his pants up. There is really nothing horribly special about this belt. It's a straight up military canvas belt. Let me see. Here's mine. This one is actually really old. I did some research like I normally do before I film these, because it's been so long since I bought some of this stuff. I wanted to know what the updated prices were and where you could get them and all that jazz. So anyway, this is Indy's belt. All you need to do is go on eBay, or simply Google it for that matter, and look up military web belt or military canvas belt, and these will pop up all over the place, and they're super cheap and easy to get. A couple things you want to keep in mind when you're looking for Indy's belt is the color. It needs to be a nice brown color like this one, and it's a little particular about the buckle as well. This is the correct buckle for the films. It is no longer the correct color. The color is supposed to be brass. This was brass when I got it, but I've worn it so much that it's not quite as brassy looking as it used to be. So you're going to want to get one with a brass buckle. This belt is about 10 years old at this point. I got it off eBay for $1. Now the same belt on eBay goes for about $10. You can also get them on Amazon and a couple of other places. They all generally come in one length, and they'll have a brass tip on the other end as well, and you're going to want to cut that off, because that is not screen accurate, and you're going to be able to see it when you run it through your pants like so. It'll be, pretty much sticking out over here somewhere, and that's not going to be screen accurate. So what you want to do is cut that off and then use a cigarette lighter to fuse it, like I have done here, so that the belt doesn't fray on you. And like I said, this belt's about 10 years old and is still going strong. So I have definitely gotten my money's worth out of it, even though the buckle has faded quite a bit. So there's that. Todd's Costumes actually has one that's an unofficial Indiana Jones belt, and it's also only about $10. And I checked on it today, and they actually have it in stock. So that might be a good option for you guys out there as well, since it's going to be roughly the same price. You could also try going to like a military surplus store or something like that, and then just shop for them the old-fashioned way. But I would recommend, probably Amazon is probably your best bet, because then if you don't like it for some reason, you can just send it back. They're always really good with their returns. So honestly, that's probably what I would do when it comes to getting Indy's belt. Next up is going to be the gun belt, and that's going to be a little bit harder to get. Here is my gun belt. Again, this is about 8 to 10 years old, and this is still in fantastic shape. Even though I used it during my movie, all the action scenes, the whole shebang, it still looks like it's just about brand new. Couple things you want to worry about when you're looking at Indy's gun belt, or weapons belt, if you want to do the Google search for it. Looks like it does have a little bit of scuffing there, probably from when I was rolling around in the dirt or whatever. But you want this nice dark brown color. Don't go for a light brown, because that's not going to be true to the films. And you want a silver buckle on it. Not gold, but silver. Silver is true to all the films as well. And you want a D-ring like this for the actual buckle. Don't get a square one. Get a circular one like this. That is going to be what is most screen accurate. This one is from Make It Jones. They do still sell this belt, and it goes for about 28 pounds, which is a pretty reasonable price. I think I might have actually paid more for this way back in the day when I got mine. I think this belt was about $50. If you go on Etsy, they've also got a couple places on there that also sell them for about $50. And I found some places on eBay that they're selling them for a similar amount. So Make It Jones is actually a really good option for this belt. Another good one was What Price Glory. I've mentioned them in a couple of my other videos because they make really good stuff. Their Indiana Jones weapons belt is only $30, and it comes with a whip holder. So if you're planning on getting something from What Price Glory, like the shirt that I've mentioned earlier, or the jacket, or the satchel, or some of the other things, you might want to throw the belt in there because you also get a free whip holder with it. We'll be talking about the whip holders here in a few minutes. Todd's Costumes also has one, and they're in stock. And their belt is only $30. So that could be another good option for you. Honestly, with the options here, even though I love my Make It Jones belt, I'd probably go with What Price Glory just because it's going to be a little bit cheaper and you get the free whip holder with it. So that's my advice there. Now, on to the straps for the satchel. I covered this a little in the video I did on the satchel, but we'll talk about it again real quick. For those that have not seen that video, you can check it out on this channel under Indy Gear, the satchel. This is my satchel from What Price Glory. I would highly recommend getting the satchel from them. And this is the strap that I also got from What Price Glory, which is 100% screen accurate and adjustable. So yeah. The primary thing you're looking for in a good strap is this buckle right here. It needs to be square because that's what's screen accurate for the films, and it needs to hang somewhere here in the chest area. Mine's already adjusted so that it fits me, but that's about where mine sits. Somewhere between here and here is where Indy's is. Now, obviously, you can tighten this or loosen this to make the belt, the satchel, hang lower or higher on you, and that's going to affect where the buckle sits. But the good thing about this strap is, on the other side, it's fastened with this Chicago screw here. Let's see if we can get that on camera there. So, if you don't quite like where the buckle is sitting on your chest, all you'd need to do is remove this screw, punch another hole a little bit further up, and then put the screw back in. And bada bing, bada boom, you'd be done. So I really like that about this strap. It's also very nice leather and heavy duty. Again, I have used this during my action film, and it still looks pretty much brand new. It's got some scuffing on it, but I like messing up my stuff personally. So yeah, it's great. Let's see, a couple of other options for the strap. Wested makes a good one, so if you're buying a jacket from them or something else, the boots, whatever, you can get one from Wested. They're about 12 pounds. The one from What Price Glory is $15. And if you're already buying something from them, that's a great deal. I would highly recommend What Price Glory when it comes to straps. Todd's Costumes also has one, and lo and behold, they are in stock, and you can get one from them for $20. I would assume that the quality on that is good. I have not actually seen one of their straps in person, but based on the other stuff that they sell, I would assume that it's good quality, so I don't mind telling you to go there if that's where you want to do your shopping. So that's the strap, the gun belt, and the regular belt. The only thing we have left is the whip holder. I do not have a whip holder to show you, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. But a regular screen-accurate Indiana Jones whip holder is basically just going to be a strap where one part of it is the belt loop that'll go over Indy's pants belt, not the weapons belt, but I'd put it over the pants belt because if you put it over the weapons belt, it's just going to slide all over on you, and then when you're walking around, it stinks. So I would use the pants belt because the whip will stay in one place and it'll be more sturdier when you're trying to run around with it. But anyway, the whip holder is basically just a belt loop that goes here, and then just a little strap of leather with a snap on it that goes in a circle. I got my whip handy here. And it will basically just pinch the whip like this. Now there's a major drawback to the screen accurate whip holder. I've gotten all sorts of them. I've gotten the double wrapped whip holder. They call it the super whip holder, but it doesn't really work any better than any of the other whip holders do. And the problem is, as you walk along, the weight of the whip handle will gradually pull it out, and then pretty soon you're going to be left with this problem. And it's just going to be banging all over the place when you're walking around. So there is a way to fix that, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So if you're wanting a screen-accurate whip holder, there's a few things you can do. Make it Jones, makes a good one. It's only 7.5 pounds, so very, very little money. Crease and Corral, the people that made this whip, they make the nice, fancy double-wrapped one, and that one's only going to be 13 bucks. Wested also makes one, and it's only 8.5 pounds. So if you're ordering something from them, you can throw in the whip holder, and you're good to go. And Todd's Costumes also has one, and it's in stock, and it's going to be 20 bucks. Any of those places, I mean, basically all you're looking at is a little strap of leather that hangs from a belt with a snap on it. So it's really, really easy to get. If you don't want to get one of those, they're all going to be roughly the same. Just type in whip holder or Indiana Jones whip holster or something like that, and you'll get all sorts of options. They're all going to be roughly, you know, between 10 and 20 bucks. Take your pick. They're all going to do the exact same thing. I've gone through a million gazillion of them in my day, and I've hated every single one of them, which is why I don't have one. The one I have is not screen accurate, but it is very, very effective. Now here's a way that you can make the screen accurate strap work for you. What you do when you're running around is you take a zip tie and fasten it right there, and then yank it nice and tight. Now yes, people are going to see the zip tie. I mean, if you make it black, it's going to be hard to notice, but it will fix the problem. Now you're not going to be able to yank your whip out and start cracking it all over the place because you've got the stupid zip tie on there. But for show, it will work very, very nicely. That is the only way around the headache known as the Indiana Jones whip holder. I used them for years and years and years, and every time I was out hiking or running around at a con or whatever, every 15 minutes I would have to stop, take the whip out, recoil it, and stick it back on the thing because the stupid handle would keep dragging it down. And then it'd be banging against my knee. Oh, it was irritating. So, here's what I have done. I found a little hole-in-the-wall website a long, long time ago. I could not find one for this video, so I can't share the website that I got this thing from. I don't even know if they make them anymore. However, this would be very, very easy to make yourself. So I'm going to get up nice and close here so you can see what I'm looking at. Here is the loop where you would hang it from your belt. Just this little top section here. All they have done is taken a little bit of leather lacing and put a bead in there, which is what this is. And then in the back, we have 4 rivets, 2 on each side of the loop. Okay? The leather lacing comes out the bottom and is tied in a knot here so that it can't move. So this section here is basically stuck in place. Okay? Then we have the remainder of the strap, which has 2 snaps on it. And you bring one section up through the bead, like so, and then you snap it. So when it's hanging from your belt, it looks like this. And then all you do is yank on this thing to tighten the grip around the whip. And as it tightens, the whip will not move. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. I've already got this one pretty much set to my crease and corral whip. I ordered several of these when I got this thing because I was worried that I might not be able to get them in the future. And I was right. Now this one has lasted me my entire Indiana Jones career. This sucker is probably 15 years old and still got lots of life left in it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to make. You got 4 rivets, 1 snap, a leather strap that's probably about 8 to 10 inches long, and a piece of leather lacing. Bada bing, bada boom. So here's how it works. You've got your whip here. So I'm going to coil this one a little bit loosely just so you can see the function of this thing. Okay. So here's where the whip is going to sit. So it sits on your belt like so. So you take the whip holder, wrap it around the whip, through the bead, out again, and then into the snap. It's a little bit more difficult to do when the whip isn't actually hanging from your pants. So this is basically what it does. And then if you've got some extra leeway there, all you got to do is yank on this thing and it'll tighten it. And then you have this. And no matter what you do, that whip ain't coming out. I filmed all my action scenes with this movie, with this thing, and I've done tons of hiking and all sorts of running around. I've done sprints with this thing, and it will not come out. This is the best Indiana Jones whip holder I have ever seen in my life, and the other regular whip holders don't hold a candle to this thing. Now, is it screen accurate? No, it's not even close to being screen accurate, and that part kind of stinks. But how many people are going to be looking at this little thing that's sitting on your waist, especially when the satchel is covering it? Not many. Now, to get it out, take the snap through the loop, and out it comes. So it's a little bit more time consuming than just the regular whip holder where you just unsnap it and go. But it's worth the trade-off for not having it dragging at your pants the whole frickin' time that you're out. And I wear my stuff a lot, hours and hours and hours at a time. There were a couple days where we were filming the movie where we were out there 7 hours. And I had no problems with the whip on my belt. So that's what I have opted to do to fix the problem. You can do with that as you like. I mean, like I said, these videos are for you guys, and I'm basically just trying to share my experience with you and trying to help you get the best stuff. So, all the other stuff on this list, other than the whip holder, super easy to get. The whip holder itself, super easy to get. But I'm telling you right now, if you get one of those whip holders, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have to come up with something to keep that whip from sliding around on you. So it's totally up to you how you want to handle that. I'm just giving you the options. So with that being said, we are completely done with this series. So what's next? I'm still working really hard on my fan film. My next video is probably going to be discussing that film with you guys and what exactly you want to see and how we should proceed with that. The finished product is still a long ways away. I just finished one scene last week, and we've got 12 more to go with lots of action, lots of special effects. It's going to be a while, but I know a lot of people have really been clamoring to see what I'm working on, so we're going to be discussing that. I also need to finish my whip tutorial series. I have at least 3 more lessons for that need to be filmed. So even though this series is now over, there's still going to be lots more good indie material heading your guys' way. So thank you all for watching and for sticking with me through all these rough times. I hope all of you are staying safe out there. So have a good night, and I'll see you next time.